People in the Armenian highlands started wearing shoes in the late Bronze Age. The oldest shoe of the world was found during excavations in the area called Bird Cave near the village of Areni by Otzor. The shoe was quite small and made for the right foot. It was stuffed with the grass and corresponded to 37 shoe size of the modern European measurement. It was found by the head of the archaeological team. Archaeologists believe that the footwear was filled with grass to maintain its shape. The laboratory studies have shown that a shoe is over 5,637 to 5,387 years old. The shoe is made of a single piece of cowhide laced with a leather cord along seams at the front and back. The shoe was soleless. Archaeologists believe that these shoes could be easily damaged in the rocky areas, in other words, be disheveled. Until the 1950s, leather shoes, similar type of Armenian shoes called pambag, were used in the islands off the west coast of Ireland. Footwear similar in design was found in different parts of Europe. According to the historical manuscripts, Armenian and Persian kings wore a pair of red shoes and their ministers only one, as a sign of honor. In the Middle Ages, Armenian brides wore silver-plated shoes. According to Tovmar Tsruni, in the middle of the 9th century, residents of the Hut region made wooden shoes specifically for walking over the snow. In Armenia, before the first half of the 20th century, Armenians wore homemade knitted or sewn shoes. They were basically made of leather and knitted from hair, wool, and cotton thread. Each region had specific types of shoes matching the men's, women's, children's clothing. Men and women wore skates, slippers, mules, house shoes, pantofles, sneakers, wooden sandals, straw shoes, boots, high boots, and knitted boots. In the Armenian language, instead of the word shoe, the word footwear, votnaman, was widely used. Footwear has a centuries-old tradition. Initially, it was made of leather of bear and other animals. Egyptians attached straps of palm leaf or papyrus and used them as shoes. Footwear straps made for aristocrats were decorated with precious stones. Entering the palace of the pharaoh, shoes were taken off and left at the entrance. In Assyria, high boots were sewn. The ancient Hebrews used shoes made of leather, wool, wood, and cane. In ancient Greece, sandals and shoes with veil were sewn. It was here when originally shoes for the left and right feet appeared. Moccasins, sandals, and slippers were widely spread in Armenia. Moccasins were made of treated and untreated solid piece of cowhide leather, the edge of which were sewn and tightened on foot by thin leather straps. On the eve of the wedding, the bride's parents gave moccasins with red straps to the groom as a present. Times changed, and with them changed the shape of the shoes. Later, women began wearing high heel shoes to look more feminine. It is not known who owns the idea of inventing the heel, but it is believed that it was invented in the 17th century in the city of Cordoba in Spain. It was there where the craftsman developed the design and shape of the heel. In the era of Rococo, the heel was shifted to the center of the shoe so that the foot seemed smaller. Over the time, the heel has been modified a great many times. Tall, broad, square-shaped heels were invented specifically for the girls' dancing twist. And finally, in 1950, famous Italian fashion designer Salvatore Ferragamo invented the world-famous stud-thin heels, spikes. He offered a long steel tube as a support for the studs. And do you know how high-heel shoes were invented? They appeared in Paris in the late Middle Ages. Why women should have worn high-heel shoes and lent their weight of the body upon the foot? Everything began from the dirt in the streets. Most of the streets of Paris were not tile-lined, and to cross from one side of the street to the other, people had to walk through the mud. And some talented, resourceful, and professional shoemakers invented high heels, with the help of which it was easier to navigate through the muddy streets. All Parisians, both men and women, began wearing high-heel shoes.